Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 780th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I put onto YouTube. And what a cracking 31k battle I've got for you today. And as you can see, this is fought on a custom map hosted by Brotherhood member Crypto, and our first teammate is Brotherhood member Crypto, and he's got 12 infantry and 8 archers. 12 infantry and 8 archers. Just like to show you here, he usually brings 12 Spartans there, but you can see that he's got, I think, 10 Spartans there, and I believe he's got 2 armoured hoplites there. So he's got 2 armoured hoplites there, and as I say, about 10 Spartans there. But look at the Cretan archers that he's got. 8 Cretan archers, long range elite archers there, so he's bringing a lot of firepower to the battlefield there, and that is a tried and tested Crypto army. Our next teammate is Brotherhood member Canary, who's bought the Armenian faction. Now he's got 6 spearmen, 8 archers and 6 cavalry. We have a look at his heavy spearmen here. There you are. If you count the upgrades, 5, 6, 7, 8, fully upgraded heavy spearmen. Now, of course, because they've got spears, they're anti-cavalry, but you'd be surprised on how well they can hold up infantry as well. So it'll be interesting to see how well he handles Armenia during the course of the battle. As I say, he's got 8 archers, but unfortunately the Armenian archers are short range. They haven't got much. They haven't got any armor on at all, so they're pretty poor archers, actually, to be honest with you. The strength of Armenia are their cataphracts there, and if you count the upgrades on his cataphracts, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fully upgraded cataphracts, 3 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. And if you notice, they're armored from head to toe. That's why we call them the tanks of the ancient world. Used correctly, these can be battle winning troops there. So that's Armenia. Some people class that as a lesser 31k faction, but others say that it's pretty good. Our next teammate is myself, Spartan Commander, who's got his very old Roman army of 13 infantry and 6 cavalry. As I say, very, very old Roman army there. Be interesting to see how well it does. And our last teammate is Brotherhood member Auerelius. Now, Auerelius has got 11 Spartans, 4 archers and 4 light cavalry. Now, a quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry. And you are 7 upgrades and experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack. And just to say, these light cavalry, yes, they are only light cavalry, but they're very fast moving and can be very effective around the battlefield. And this is a standard Auerelius Greek cities army here, and this is his faction of choice. But very unusual to see 2 Greek cities armies in one team there. Okay, so I'm just wondering if we're going to be at a big cavalry disadvantage in this game. It'll be interesting to see. As I say, this is a cracking 31k battle on a custom map, and I really hope you enjoy it. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Mantu. Now, Mantu has got 14 pikes and 6 chariots. Okay, 14 pikes and 6 chariots. Check the upgrades on his pikeman there. You'll see he's got 8 upgrades, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack on his pikeman. And once again, just look at the length of those Pontus pikemen there, those pikes. Our men have got to fight all the way down those pikes to kill the man on the other end, and that is a tall order for a lot of units in this game there. But what I'd like to draw your attention to are these chariots of Mantus. Now, these guys have got big attacking specifications. They got hit points. And a massive fear factor, but they are a very double-edged sword. If they run amok, they kill both friends and foe alike, and are a menace to both friend and foe alike, and they seem to be stronger in amok mode than they do in normal mode, which always seemed a bit strange to me. So they really are a double-edged sword. But the reason I want to draw your attention to these chariots is, if you look carefully, can you see, I don't think there's any upgrades on these chariots, but nevertheless, these chariots could be very pivotal in the battle that you're about to watch. Okay, so just keep an eye on the chariots, because I think that they could prove, as I say, very pivotal. Okay, their next teammate is Brotherhood member Lakedaimon, who has bought the Scythian faction. Now, he's got 11 foot archers and, get ready for this, 6 horse archers. Okay, so there's his foot archers there. He's got gold shield, gold attack on them. Now remember, these chosen archers got long range, really good defense, and they're so good that they can be used as really effective light infantry when they run out of arrows. So make no mistake there, I see some of his archers have got 7 upgrades on as well, and experience, stroke, gold shield, gold attack. Now, as those of you that know, our 31k rules say only 2 horse archers max. I think Lakedaimon, because he hasn't played for such a long time, forgot that, and he's bought 6 horse archers. Okay, and he's put 8 upgrades on them, 2 experience, stripes, gold shield, gold attack. Make no mistake, these are elite horse archers there. And see those, if you look at their where you think they keep their arrows, can you see those couple of things sticking out there? Now, I wondered if those are spare bows. Do you think those are spare bows? They don't look like arrows, do they? I just wonder whether those are spare bows for you know, if they're bows wear, the string wears or anything like that. I just wonder what you guys think about that. But as I say, our normal rules is 2 horse archers. He's bought 6. Their next teammates, Brotherhood member Barclayman. Now, Barclayman, get ready for this, has got 17 sacred band spearmen, 17, and 3 cavalry. Okay, if you check the upgrades there, you'll see that the forward units of this first battle formation have only got gold shield, gold attack on. Okay, so that's the forward units of his battle formation. But the rear line has got 8 upgrades on, 2 experience, stripes, gold shield, gold attack. Okay, so Barclayman here has split his 17 sacred band spearmen into 2 armies there. Okay, we'll have a look at his other army over here. Once again, the forward units just got gold shield, gold attack on. Okay, as you can see there, just gold shield, gold attack. And then as you go further back into his battle formation, the second line has got 7 upgrades on, an experience, stripe, gold shield, gold attack. And the third line has got 8 upgrades on, 2 experience, stripes, gold shield, gold attack there on that particular battle formation. So those 2 at the front make first contact with the enemy, suffer probably the highest casualties, but hopefully weaken the enemy troops, and then those better upgraded troops will move forward to take advantage of that. That's what I think the thinking is behind that battle formation. As I say, you've got 2 armies there. Quick look at the upgrades on his sacred band cavalry, and he's just got gold shield, gold attack on his sacred band cavalry, because of course he spent most of his money on his infantry there. Okay, so remember that Carthage is Barclayman's faction of choice, and he's got very good with it. Okay, and their final teammate is Brotherhood member Vicox, who's bought the Spanish faction, and he has got 8 bull warriors, 6 cavalry, and 6 slingers. How often do you see Spain on the 31k battlefield? If you have a look there, you see he's put gold shield, gold attack on those bull warriors. Just to draw your attention here to their helmets, can you see that they got the sun there being held by the bull's horn, because they worship both the sun and the bull god, and that obviously, as you can see there, the sun being held by the horns on their helmets there, so they're kind of like taking their gods into battle with them there, the bull warriors. But they're very expensive, and what you get for them really is not great. Okay, that's why you don't see Spain bought very often, because the bull warriors, they're very, very expensive, but and on paper they look fantastic, but you put them up against urban cohorts, and the urban cohorts, which are about 300 or 400 denarii less, usually beat them. Okay, and here he's got his long shield cavalry. As I say, they haven't got heavy cavalry, but they've got this light cavalry there. Just check the upgrades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fully upgraded cavalry. Now, these long shield cavalry, yes, they are only light cavalry, but they're fast moving, and you'd be surprised on how tough they are, especially when they're fully upgraded. So that's it'd be interesting to see what happens there. And then he's got his 6 Balearic slingers, which have got reasonable range for slinger units. Remember that slingers have got 40 slingshots in this game, where archers have only got 30 arrows. So there's a very diverse team. You've got Pontus with Mantu, you've got Scythia with Lakedaimon, Carthage with Barclayman, and Spain with Vicox. Now, what I was going to say to you, if you look at both teams here, okay, bearing in mind we've got Greek cities, we've got Rome, we've got Armenia, and we've got another Greek cities there. Okay, if you look at both teams, which team do you think has got a faction advantage here? Do you think they're quite even, or do you think there is a faction advantage? It'd be interesting to see what happens during the course of this battle. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I just wanted to show you this map. Okay, now this map slopes gently from left to right. So at the right is the highest part of the map, and the left side is the lower part of the map. Okay, so you can't see it very clearly, but there is a definite advantage there to get up onto the higher ground. If you notice there, you'll see it slopes very, very slightly. So that's why on this map a lot of people go for the right hand side of the map, because that is the higher part of the map, where of course you get the advantage there through being on the higher ground. So we'll have to see what happens. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle here, you'll see Crypto is moving up to the higher part of the map. As we looked at earlier, the higher part of the map is to our right, and the lower part of the map here is to our left. But you'll see that Canary here is moving his Armenian army down to the left here, down to the lower part of the map. Okay, if you notice up here, you'll see that both Mantu with his Pontus army, the Scythian general there, Lakedaimon, are all moving up to the higher part of the map there. If you notice here, Auerelius is going to move in. Looks like he's going to move down from the higher part of the map there. But as I say, you can see that straight away Mantu grabbed the higher part of the ground there. As I say, it's only a gentle slope. It's not like it's a massive hill or anything, but I still think you get a little bit of an advantage there, obviously being on the higher ground. But you can see here that Auerelius is shifting down to the left side here. Now what I noticed in this battle, our Armenian ally Canary, if you've noticed, remember he's only got 6 infantry, and I think he's got 8 archers there. Well, this is going to be quite a soft target, I think, for the enemy team, if you think about it. He's only got 6 infantry there, and as I say, Crypto's moving up to the higher part of the ground there. So here, you've got Barclayman's B army, okay, although he's got his general in, so he may well call it his A army, and the Spanish army of Vicox here, and they've got a lot of infantry in comparison to Canary. So if they charge forward, all they're going to basically run into is archers. And of course, I know he's got Canary's got his cataphracts there, but that's a lot of infantry that the enemy team have got in comparison to our Armenian ally. You know, as I say, Canary's only got 6 spearmen there, so you can see here Vicox running his bull warriors, his Spanish bull warriors, across the battlefield there, because as I say, all he can see is archers in front of him, which of course would just he could take out very easily there. Let's say the Armenian archers here. Now you can see Barclayman bringing his spearmen across, his sacred band spearmen. So as I say here, I think this left flank of ours could prove to be quite a soft target, if you like, for the enemy troops there. As I say, only 6 spear units. As I say, yes, he's got his cataphracts there, of course, but with the anti-cavalry sacred band spearmen that Barclayman's bringing into the fray, that could neutralise that cavalry. And as I say here, if Barclayman and Vicox aggressively attack our left flank here, there's a chance that they could well break our left flank here. As I say, just look at the aggression there, especially by Vicox with his Spanish troops moving forward. And as I say, then you've got the anti-cavalry sacred band spearmen of Barclayman teaming up with him as well. And as I say, if you just look at the troops they're facing there, the Armenian troops they're facing, there's it's not that solid a flank of ours there. There you are. You can see them really running forward here. Could rout a lot of our Armenian allies' archers there. Right, let's pause the game for a second here. So as I say, very aggressive move here by Barclayman and Vicox there. And also here, this is a nice move by Barclayman here, bringing his cavalry units over. Notice not in wedge formation, they're in normal formation for more speed, coming over here to target our allies' archers there. Look. Can you see? Nice, very nice aggressive move there, as I say, by Vicox and Barclayman there. If we move further on up the battlefield here, you'll see that Crypto now is changing direction. He's no longer heading up the battlefield. He's going to turn left there, back down back down to the lower ground. You'll see that I'm also taking my army to the lower part of the ground there, because we've decided we're going to try and hit Vicox and the Carthage A army there of Barclayman's. So that's where we're going to all head down now, to the lower part of the ground there, trying to take out Barclayman's A army with his general in, and the Spanish ally Vicox there. But as I say, if you notice here, you'll see both Mantu and Lakedaimon are on the higher part of the ground now, and of course these elite archers with their long range shooting from higher ground, their arrows go further and do more damage. And backed up here by the massive pikes of Pontus here, the enemy, I think, have got quite a strong position on the battlefield here. So as I say, I think you'll notice that we're all going to move now down to the lower part of the ground here to try and, as I say, take out the A army of Barclayman there, and the Spanish army. Okay, but you can see they're really ploughing into our Armenian allies' archers there, really causing a lot of casualties. And of course, at this stage of the battle, all that Canary can do is pull his troops back, pull his infantry and cavalry back. Because remember, those bull warriors of Spain, they throw missiles, so they would decimate his spearmen if he faces them there. So as I say, we're now kind of trying to get down as fast as we can now to help out Canary there. So as I say, you can see there Crypto moving his Spartans back down there to try and help out, but as I say, our left flank, looking at the situation here, is in danger possibly of being broken there by the aggression of Barclayman and Vicox. Right, let's just pause again for a second here. So you can see here that these couple of Carthage cavalry units there try to take our archers out, and I've taken them out. But down here you'll see that Canary has charged a couple of his cataphracts into the light cavalry of Spain. Now, as I said, you remember I said that Spanish cavalry, I think, is fully upgraded, and though it is light cavalry, you'd be surprised on how tough that light cavalry is. Okay, and you can see he's taken on, and there you can see a couple of Canary's other heavy cavalry coming into the fray as well. But to say, you'd be surprised on how tough that Spanish light cavalry is. And here you can see Vicox and Barclayman's infantry facing Canary's infantry there. But as I say, we're all trying to travel down now to help out Canary here on our left flank. But as I say, this would be interesting here to see this this tussle here between Spanish light cavalry and, get ready for this, and bang! As that heavy cavalry of Canary's, another one going in there as well, look, and bang! As that charges in. Now you might think that that Spanish cavalry would have cracked by now against that those heavy, well-upgraded cataphracts, wouldn't you? But still they're holding. Now the reason the Spanish general hasn't pulled his cavalry out is very tactical. Can you see why he's still keeping his cavalry fighting there? Okay, now you think he would withdraw his cavalry to try and save them, but no, there's a tactical reason for that. He's trying to hold the Armenian cavalry up, allowing his anti-cavalry sacred band spearman ally to get those units into the fray to kill our Armenian allies' cavalry. Okay, so that's why he hasn't pulled his light Spanish cavalry out of the fray. It's because he's just waiting for his anti-cavalry sacred band spear ally to get involved there. And then the only thing that Canary can do is pull his cavalry out the fray himself. Can you see? So that was a nice little move there by Vicox and Barclayman there. And I think that Canary did exactly the right thing, pull his cavalry out before he got into any contact with those spear units. So yeah, it was a nice move. Here you can see the chariots of Mantu moving down to this side of the battlefield as well. As I say, watch these chariots during the course of the battle, because I think they could well have a pivotal role. Okay, but there you've got the Spanish cavalry and the chariots and Spanish infantry and one of Barclayman's Carthage armies there. And as I say, for all intents and purposes here, if you look, it looks like our left flank has actually been broken, really, hasn't it? I think there, I mean, we've, okay, he's got his Armenian spearmen up there, but really the left flank as it was has kind of been broken, really, I think. And as I say, we're heading down now. We're going to try and take these two armies out. But my guess is that Barclayman and Vicox, being experienced RTW players, will back their armies off when they see all of our armies coming down towards them. And as you can see, that's exactly what they're doing now. They've done the damage that they wanted to, I think, to Armenia. Took out a lot of their Armenian troops there and weakened a lot as well. Okay, now here, as I say, Lakedaimon's bought 6 horse archers when we know this 2 is max in this game, but he forgot that because he hasn't played for a long time. But these 11 elite chosen archers here, see how he's got them in close tight formation for more impact and more damage. Imagine the damage that they're going to be doing to our Spartan ally, plus the Scythian horse archers there, the firepower that they can bring to bear here onto our troops. Especially, don't forget, they're on the higher part of the map as well, so like I said earlier, their arrows go further, do more damage, penetrate more. So as I say, poor old Auerelius here, is I would think that forward unit of Spartans are going to be decimated there. Okay, so remember that's an 81 man unit, and you can see, don't forget these units have got 2 hit points and excellent specifications, but the volume of arrows coming down on them from that slightly higher ground, and the advantages that gives the archers there, is really causing Aurelius a lot of damage there for that forward unit. As we thought here, as Crypto's advanced his troops forward, there is Spartans forward, both Barclayman and Vicox have backed their armies off. Okay, and also, as I say, you got Mantu's chariots there as well. They've kind of backed off because they've seen all of us heading towards them there. So I think that was a good move there by Vicox and Barclayman there to back off. They've done a lot of damage to Armenia, but it'll be interesting to see what happens down on this left flank there. But as I say, I feel sorry for Aurelius because every time he moves, he's going to get hammered by those archers. And he's moving his Spartans and his Cretan archers back there. And of course the Scythian general is just going to keep chasing him there upon that slightly higher ground there, where, as I say, the archers got a big advantage. Where their arrows go further, do more damage. You can see Pontus coming forward with his pikemen there. As I say, just look at the gentle slopelet. So you can see the higher ground there where the enemy have taken up positions there and moving down from the higher ground, which of course will give them a kind of a downhill advantage. Not much of one, mind, because it's only a gentle slope, but they will get some kind of advantage there. Right, so here you can see Barclayman there. Now Barclayman is going to sacrifice this one sacred band unit here. You see, what he's trying to do is hold up our archers and Rhodian slingers there, I think, so that he can then move the bulk of his army away without being shot in the back. Do you see what I mean? So he's trying to move away there. He's going to try and sacrifice this unit here that he's hoping is going to try and hold up the enemy, our archers and slingers there. I think that's why he's sacrificing that unit there. But that unit will soon rout, I'm thinking there, and you can see Crypto's Greek cities moving down. As I say, I felt really sorry for Aurelius here, because every time he moves he's going to get hammered by archers, because of course when you move away from an enemy you show the weakest part of your units, the back, to the enemy there. And just look at this unit, this 81 man unit has been decimated, okay, just by archer fire. They haven't even got into hand-to-hand fighting. He's just being shot to pieces there by those Scythian chosen archers and those horse archers as well. Okay, as I say, you can see Mantu still holding the higher ground. He's not gonna sacrifice the higher ground, because that would be a bad tactical move. So he's still coming down there with the advantage of the higher ground there, moving down towards us there, as I say, downhill or down slope, because that's what it is really. It's just a slope really. It's not a major hill. Okay, so you can see my army moving forward now. I think I'm supposed to go for the Carthage army, but we weren't expecting to see the Carthage army split in two. So I've got to try and choose which Carthage army I'm going to try and go for there. But as I say, I felt sorry for Aurelius here, because every time he moves he's going to get hammered, as I say, by those archers there. And look at that 81 man unit. Just want to show you to pause the game. So this 81 man unit, as I say, now has been reduced to 2 men, and that's just through archer fire. You might well see this unit completely destroyed here now. That's the last 2 men, and is he going to go there? He's gone down. Okay, so all 81 men in that unit has been killed, coming down from the that part of the battlefield down to the lower part of the battlefield there, and that whole unit of 81 men has been killed without getting even into hand-to-hand fighting. That's the volume of arrows that's coming down onto poor Aurelius. And as I say, every time he moves, you know, when he moves back from those archers, he shows his back of his troops to the archers there, which of course, as we said, are the weakest part of any unit. So he's going to lose men as he moves away from those archers. So let's say poor Aurelius there get pinned there a little bit by the Scythian archers there. Let's say over here you'll see Crypto and myself. We're going to move forward there towards Vicox and Barclayman's A army there. But as I say, just look at Mantu's pike formation there. The length of that pike formation there. He's not going to leave that higher ground. Make no mistake about that. He's going to hold that higher ground there. And as I say, you can see the horse archers there of Lakedaimon's Scythian troops. As I say, how often on a 31k battle do you see Scythia brought to the 31k battlefield. Very, very rare. A lot of people look at Scythia as a lesser 31k faction. So I thought it was quite surprising to see that faction brought to a 31k battlefield. So well done to Lakedaimon for doing that. I always like to see unusual factions brought to our battles there. Right now you can see this horse archer unit of Lakedaimon. Now is he going to go for that Armenian archer unit? What do you reckon? Do you reckon he's going to alt attack and hit that Armenian archer unit, or do you think it's too close to his Greek city's ally? What do you reckon? No, here you are. He's changed that using the down slope advantage. Look, and bang, straight into that Armenian. Going to rout that unit. All right, there you go. There you are. He alt attacked there and got rid of that Armenian archer unit there. That was a nice hit there by Lakedaimon. So as I say here, the archer advantage that the enemy of team have got and the slinger advantage they've got from that higher part of the ground really can make a difference here, I think. Okay, so as I say, you can see the enemy team look like they're forming up behind Mantu's battle line there, that massive pike battle line. So we're going to have to try. We're not going to, obviously, we don't want to take Mantu's pikes on head on, so we're going to look to flank him. Just to give you a heads up on that, we're not going to take him head on, but we're going to try and flank him, get round the flanks of that massive Pontus battle formation there. And if we can get in behind him, then of course we would be on the higher part of the slope there. Can you see? That's what we want to do. We want to come around here. Now remember those Scythians, yeah, they've got a lot of firepower, but no infantry. So if we charge round there against them, then of course they're going to just retreat all the time. So as I say, this is the what we need to do. We don't want to take Pontus on head on. As I say, just look at the length of those Pontus pikes, and the last thing we want to do is fight up a slope, if you like, against those pikes. So as I say, we're going to come round the flanks there and try and get in behind Pontus if we can. I know Crypto and myself on the other flank there, that's where we want to get round Pontus there, and I'm thinking that Auerelius and Canary here want to get their Armenian and Greek cities army round the flanks there of Pontus. And this is where Canary's heavy cavalry could well come into its own here if he gets in behind. I mean, he could take out the Scythian archers there. But most people that bring a Scythian army bring the headhunting maidens, you know, cavalry versus cavalry, probably the best cavalry in the game. But as you say, Lakedaimon hasn't done that. So as I say, Canary's heavy cavalry, as I say, could come into its own here, getting in behind Pontus. Now can you see here that Mantu has done a good tactical move here. He's moved his rear battle line of his formation over here to cover the flank. Can you see that? Nice move there by Mantu. Left the first line there to hold the ground and moved his second line of his battle formation there to cover the flank. So as I say, nice tactical move there by Mantu. And also, he's not just covering it against Greek cities. Look, because he's anti-cavalry pikes, he's covering it against the Armenian cavalry as well. Now here you can see Auerelius is running his troops forward, look, trying to get in behind the front line of the Pontus pikemen. But here you'll see Mantu has put his pikes down and is now moving in to Aurelius' Spartans. Look at the short spears of Spartans, right? Just look at, just memorize those for a second, and look at the massive length of those pikes of Pontus. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Now, is Auerelius going to turn his troops to try and take on those pikes, or is he going to carry on and run into the rear of that front line of Pontus pikemen there? Maybe Canary might attack those Pontus pikemen to hold and pin them. We'll just have to wait and see. But as I say, Mantu's moving forward with that well upgraded Pontus pikemen there. Here you'll see Crypto coming around the flank. Now Crypto doesn't want to really fight Carthage at this stage of the battle, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and take on the Carthage army there, and maybe Crypto could then take on the Spanish if the Spanish general wants to fight him, which I doubt very much that he will, but we just have to see. Okay, just to give you a heads up on this, stand by. I'm going to ask you a tactical attack question in a minute, and I'll show you the battlefield and just see what you think. I always like to know what your opinion is on a tactical attack question there. But as I say, at this time you can see that the Pontus pikemen are really closing in on Auerelius' spearmen there, and make no mistake, Auerelius will be losing a lot of his troops at this stage of the battle, but these long piked Pontus pikemen, well upgraded Pontus pikemen as well, with a slight downhill advantage as well. Look. Okay, so over here, this is, as I say, Canary's heavy cavalry could come into its own here, attacking these archers. But remember, as I say, these archers are tough. These chosen archers, with the upgrades they've got on them, when they are auto-attacked, they can be a really tough light infantry there. Meanwhile, over here, as I say, you can see I'm moving my red Julio army towards Carthage there. And it'll be interesting to see what Crypto's going to do with his Spartans. Is he going to join me in an attack those Carthage troops there? We just have to see. Okay, so there you can see my Julio troops. Now you can see the Carthage generals moving his spearmen over towards his Pontus ally there, as both Crypto and myself are moving forward. Right. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a tactical attack question now. Now I want you to imagine that you're the general of my Julio army, and you've got these 6 cavalry units here. Okay, and what I'm going to ask you is what you're going to do with these 6 cavalry units at this stage of the battle. I'll give you a couple of options there. I'll just look over at the battlefield there. I'll give you a couple of options and see what you think that you would do. Okay, if you just look over on the battlefield there. So you're in charge of these 6 cavalry of mine. Right, now, would you take them over there? Okay, now bearing in mind these Scythian archers have been shooting into us for ages. Should I take my cavalry over there and take those Scythian archers out? I think I'd probably be able to take most of those Scythian archers out if I charged my cavalry over there. Bearing in mind those archers have been shooting into us all battle. Is that something that you would do with my cavalry if you were in charge of it? Take those Scythian archers out? Or should I take my cavalry round the back here? Get it round behind the back of the enemy on the higher ground, so I'll have the downhill advantage, if you like, and look, maybe even to smash into the Spanish troops there, maybe with a downhill advantage, or maybe even go into the back of the Carthage troops there. As I say, just look there. Can you see there is a downhill advantage to be had there? So could my cavalry get in behind there? Maybe I could attack these Carthage troops head on and then smash my cavalry into the back. So imagine if I brought my cavalry over here, attack those Carthage sacred band with my infantry, and then smashed into the back of them with my cavalry. Is that something that you would do if you were in charge of my cavalry? Okay, so I've given you a couple of options there, so just have a look at the battlefield. If you were in charge of my cavalry, where would you attack at this stage? Please leave your comments. I'd really like to be interested in what you think you would do with my cavalry. Okay, so let's see what I am going to do with my cavalry here. Right, can you see our Armenian ally charging into the back of those Pontus pikemen? A nice hit there by Canary. Right, here comes my cavalry in wedge formation for more penetration, more impact. Okay, so there goes my cavalry. Now what I've decided here is I can see all these Pontus pikemen are facing away from my cavalry. So I'm seeing the weakest part of those Pontus pikemen. I'm seeing the rear of them. Okay, so what I'm looking to do is to smash into the back in a hammer and anvil attack. Aurelius' Greek cities being the anvil, my cavalry being the hammer. Okay, so watch out for this hammer and anvil attack on these Pontus pikemen. Okay, just watch out for that. So here they are in wedge formation, as I say, for more penetration, more damage. Here we go, you can see it now. Get ready for this. Bang! As they smash into the back of those Pontus pikemen there. Just look at the impact and penetration of my cavalry there. Now I was expecting those Pontus pikemen to have broken by now, but they're still holding. Of course they've got really good upgrades on. That's why they're holding so well. And here you can see Canary, look, he's going to charge his cavalry, his heavy cavalry in as well. Nice hit there as we go in there. So that was a classic hammer and anvil attack. As I say there, we've routed all those Pontus pikemen. Aurelius was the anvil and my cavalry was the hammer there. And now I'm going to charge into the back of those other pikemen there as well. Hopefully take out the Pontus general. That's what I'd really like to do. Meanwhile over here you'll see my armies caught like between the Spain and one of the Carthage armies there. Can you see? So I'm pulling my infantry out because it was like it was in a vice there between those two armies. So as I say here, I'm going to charge on and try and take out that Pontus general if I can, and take out the other pike units there as well. There you are, you can see, and there you are, you can see Canary charging his cavalry in as well, like a bang and bang as we charge in. Oh my gosh, What a great hammer and anvil attack there. That is a classic hammer and anvil attack. There you are. So you can see now that all of the Pontus pikemen have now been taken out from a joint cavalry charge of Canaries, Armenian cavalry and my Julii cavalry there. As I say, you can see, I think Crypto's and Aurelius' Spartans were the anvil, and Canary and my cavalry were the hammer there. And there you are. You can see that those Pontus, all those Pontus pikemen now have been routed. So that was really, I thought that was a really great move to show you there. Did you guess that that's what I was going to do with my cavalry when you looked on the battlefield? Or did you not see that possibly? But there you go. That's what, that was a great cavalry charge there. So very, very pleased with that. And I've still got quite a lot of my cavalry left. I thought I might have lost a lot of my cavalry there. And here you can see my cavalry now charging into those Scythian archers. Remember, that was one of the options we looked at earlier. And there you are, you can see charged into those Scythian archers there. Killed a lot of them. Got to be careful of those Carthage spearmen now in amongst those archers. Going to pull my cavalry back. Now, I've still got a reasonable amount of cavalry left there. I thought I was going to lose a lot more hitting those Pontus pikes, but I've still got a reasonable amount left there. Right, now here you can see Aurelius moving his Spartans forward there. And there you can see I'm pulling my cavalry back from the fray at the moment there. Just going to give them a rest there for the time being. Remember, fresh troops fight better than tired troops. So, but what I'd like to draw your attention to here are these chariots. Now remember, do you remember I told you at the beginning of the battle, watch out for these chariots because they could prove pivotal to the outcome of this battle. Remember, their big attacking specifications, the massive fear factor they bring, okay, and what as I say, it could prove, these chariots could prove pivotal to the outcome of the battle. Now, as I say, I've got a lot of my cavalry left. I'm just kind of looking around the battlefield to see where the best place to put my cavalry is. There, okay. Just having a look round at the moment. Now you'll notice here, just want to show you something here, just pause the game for a second. You'll notice I'm pulling my Julii troops back away from the Spanish troops. There's a reason for that here, because I can see my Greek cities allies struggling a little bit against Carthage here. Now remember, Barclayman's Carthage is his faction of choice. He's very good at fighting Greek cities with those Carthage sacred band units. So what I want to do is try and help my Greek cities ally there. That's why I've brought my Julii infantry back here. And if you notice now, I'm moving right there. Can you see towards the Carthage sacred band units there, just trying to help my Greek cities ally out a bit there. Okay, so as I say, the chariots of Mantu's here could prove pivotal. Now here comes 3 units of his chariots down its slope. Okay, so they're going to get a down slope advantage here, which gives them more penetration, more speed as they smash in to my cavalry. Okay, now, as I say, I've got a lot of cavalry left, reasonable amount of cavalry left that is going to get smashed by these chariots. Look, and bang! Those chariots charging. So I'm counter-attacking with my cavalry there. Look. Okay, I've routed a couple of those chariot units that just attacked me there. Okay, so that's good news. But look what's coming in behind me. Okay, there's one more unit hitting me there, but just watch what comes in behind me. There you are, look. 2 more chariot units that smash in to the rear of my cavalry. Now make no mistake, I've lost a lot of my cavalry there already to Mantu's chariots, and there they are. You can see the chariots coming in behind my cavalry now. Okay, and as I say, these chariots I think have proved to be pivotal. As I say, I've routed a couple of those chariot units there, but as I say, just look at those chariot units, 4 chariot units coming in behind me there, plus this other chariot unit here chopping my cavalry up. Make no mistake, the scythes on the wheels of those chariots are cutting my cavalry to absolute pieces there. Okay? And there you go. Right. Now, when I said to you about pivotal, all my cavalry now, that strong force of cavalry, which I was looking to move around the battlefield, have now all been taken out by Scythian cavalry, but mostly by Armenian chariots there. Sorry, not Armenian chariots, Pontus chariots there. Okay, so I've lost all my cavalry. Now, this could prove pivotal to the battle, okay, because I've no longer got my cavalry, which I was going to take in behind the enemy troops and smash into the engaged enemy troops there, but I've no longer got them. They've been routed by Mantu's chariot charge there. Okay, so there you go. That, as I say, those chariots proved, I think, pivotal to the battle there, because I think if I still had my cavalry getting in behind these enemy troops, we would have won. We would win this battle. But we'll just have to see now if the infantry can carry the day. Alright, now here you can see Spanish troops there, cavalry smashing into the back of those Armenian spearmen there. And you can see Lakedaimon there, alt attacking his cavalry into the back of my Roman formation there. Okay, you can see that there. You can see, now look at this chariot unit here. Look, it had run amok, and we've just killed the last of the charioteers. I just thought that was an interesting shot there of those horses going down head first. Can you see? I just thought that was an interesting shot. You don't see that very often, do you, on RTW battles there? Just at the moment of them being killed there. But yeah, that unit had run amok and killed a lot of my infantry there. But as I say, here you can see the horse archers of Lakedaimon being auto-attacked, charging into the rear of my infantry there, like, and bang, as they charge in there. So as I say, Lakedaimon's doing a lot of damage there with his cavalry into the rear of my Roman battle formation there. Over here you'll see that Canary's Armenian, fully upgraded Armenian spearmen are doing well to hold the Spanish troops as much as they are there. But remember, those Scythian archers, those chosen archers, are shooting in to my troops all the time. Let's pause the game for a second here. So those Scythian archers there, they'll be shooting into our allies' troops as well. They're probably trying to kill Auerelius' general there. But also they'll then switch from there. There you can see Crypto's got one of his armoured hoplites there trying to kill those archers, because they've been causing us trouble all the way through the battle there, shooting arrows after arrow into us. Volumes of massive arrows are killing loads of our troops. As I say here, I've got my my infantry mostly engaged, but I'm keeping 3 units back in reserve at the moment. You can see Crypto's got his Spartans involved as well. Okay. But as I say, I'm taking my units round behind the Carthaginians there to come in from behind them. Pause the game for a second there. So can you see that unit there I've taken in behind? I want to charge into the rear of those engaged Carthage units there. As I say, our Armenian ally with his fully upgraded spearmen are holding really well, holding Spain really well. If you notice, I put a couple of my Julia units in to help my Armenian ally there. Okay, as I say, he's doing really well there with his spearmen. As I say, I've got a couple of my quite battle damaged Julia units there I've thrown in to try and help my Armenian ally holding the Spanish troops up there as much as he can. Those 3 units there I'm keeping back as reserve there, those 3 there, so that I can either throw them in maybe against Carthage if needed, or if I need to help against Spain, I can throw those 3 units in there against Spain there. So that's why I'm holding those units back. They'll be fresh, ready for the fray there. But as I say, you can see the Carthage, remember those Carthage Sacred Band troops were well upgraded, those spearmen there, so they're going to be difficult to kill there. And as I say, I just wish I had my cavalry now, because imagine if I could get my cavalry in behind these engaged enemy troops, how I could just charge in and probably take them out. So as I say, that chariot charge of Mantu actually did, I think, really cause a lot of damage to our team's kind of effect on the battlefield, I think, really. Right, you can see Spanish troops now have broken through our Armenian ally spearmen and are now in behind us and are now attacking my Julii troops. Pause again for a second here. So this one unit here, I'm facing 2 Carthaginian units, plus I've got a Spanish unit coming in behind me and another Carthage unit coming in behind me as well on that one unit. Okay, more Spanish troops here looking to attack, possibly attacking my general. They know if they take out the general morale bonus, that would be a big thing for them, taking the morale away from my troops. There, see if we can see my general. There's my general there. Look. The Carthaginians are a bit close to my general for my liking there. They may well try and push through that Greek city, those couple of Greek city units there to get through to my general. But there where you can see Spanish troops attacking my Julii troops at this particular stage of the battle. So you can see my Julii troops are almost surrounded there by enemy troops being pushed in from the front and coming in from here. Now here's almost a full unit of Vicox's general unit coming in there. Can you see that one unit there? Almost a full unit there of his general unit. Okay, we're just going to charge it in like a bang. And he charges it into the rear of my Julii infantry there. This is a nice hit there by one of Auerelius' cavalry units there, took out a couple of those Carthage Sacred Band units. Nice hit there by Auerelius. But as I say, you can see my Julii troops there kind of being surrounded now by Spanish bull warriors there. There you can see my general. As I say, they want to go for my general, I think. Try and take out my general there. Can you see those Carthage Sacred Band units pushing in with their spearmen there? Trying their best to kill my general. There's a general there, look. Trying to kill him if they can. So basically I think I need to move my general away from that area really, because he's too exposed there, I think, to Carthage Sacred Band spearmen. But as I say, if you look at my Julii army, you'll see there's Spanish troops and Carthaginian troops closing in from me from all directions, and of course those Scythian chosen archers shooting arrows into me all the time. So as I say, things not looking that good there, I don't think. As I say, these Spanish troops at this stage of the battle, especially that nearly full general unit coming in, that could prove pivotal there. Right, can you see my generals getting prodded a little bit by those Sacred Band spearmen? I think it's time to move him out the way. I want to move him further, deeper back into my Roman formation there, or I'm going to move reinforcements over to try and cover him a bit. It's one or the other there, but there you are. Can you see that Lakedaimon now is auto-attacking with his chosen archers? As I say, some of those chosen archers are really good light infantry, but the rest of these chosen archers here, look, in close tight formation for more penetration, more damage, shooting into my Julii troops and my Greek cities ally as well, all the time at this stage of the battle there. And they're on the higher ground as well, slightly higher ground, getting more impact, more damage. And you can see he's got his cavalry charged in there. Over here, you've got the Spanish Balearic slingers there. And make no mistake, if you notice, they're in close, tight formation as well, throwing loads of slingshots into the rear of my Julii troops. So not only are my Julii troops fighting, they're getting shot with arrows and slingshots at the same time. You can see there that I think Crypto's got a couple of his Spartan units still fighting there. But let's say these Spanish troops like really pushing in on my Julii troops now. And I think I've moved my general out of harm's way there a little bit. I've moved him a little bit deeper into the Julii battle formation there, just trying to save him from being killed by those Carthage Sacred Band units. You can see my Julii units being squeezed from both sides. Carthage, well upgraded Carthage Sacred Band troops coming in, and those Spanish bull warriors coming in from the other direction there. And as I say, don't forget the slingshots of Spain and the arrows of Scythia still coming in on my troops there. As I say, I think Crypto's general's still alive. I can see his army still there. He's still alive there. I've just moved my general further back into the battle formation there, but he's been hit, and my general unit is now routed. So we've lost the general morale bonus there, which is quite poor. There you are, look, my general's gone. I've still got an Eagle unit fighting, but as we know, Eagle units are not very good, especially against elite troops like maybe Sacred Band spearmen and those bull warriors pushing in. There's a lot of bull warriors there. Remember what they say, quantity has its own quality. And just look at all those warriors there, those bull warriors pushing in on my troops, plus the well upgraded spearmen of Carthage there pushing in. I think if my Eagle unit goes, then there could well be a mass rout. Right here, you can see the enemy troops alt-attacking their missile troops now. Let's see their archers and slingers all being alt-attacked and thrown in on my Julii infantry. And there's another... They're all charging in together now. Oh my gosh. You can see my unit starting to mass rout now. Oh my gosh. There, and there you go. So that's all my Julii infantry now has been routed, and Crypto's general as well. So really well done to the enemy team there. Well played to them. And I'd just like to show you something here at the end of the battle. Can you see that people would say that Scythia and Spain, okay, are two lesser 31k factions, and look who's left on the battlefield of the enemy team. There's one Carthage, and let's pause the game for a second there. Okay, so there's one, you've got the Spanish and Scythian troops and one Carthage unit left there. Right, let's have a look at the battlefield. It is quite spread out. So over here on this flank there, remember that's where there was that big cavalry fight between the Armenian heavy cavalry and the light cavalry of Spain there. Okay, remember that battle there? Then if we look over here, you'll see more dead Armenian archers there as we move up the battlefield. There are more Armenian archers. If you look closely there, you can see by the colours, those are Armenian archers that's been killed. As we move over here, that you can see there's a cavalry hit there. There you can see a cavalry, and then we move further up the slope there, some more dead. And there, you can see that was a massive. That's where my cavalry was taken out by those Pontus chariots. As I say, I believe that was a pivotal part of the battle there. Those chariots taking my cavalry out, I think that that kind of won the battle for the enemy team there. I don't know what you guys think. Please leave your comments. It's always nice to read what you think there. You can see here, just look at the dead here. I mean, it's, as I say, the red cloak Spartans always stick out on the battlefield, don't they? Their bodies there, the red cloaks really do show up there in amongst the long grass there. As we move over here, and of course this was the most intense part of the fighting over here. If you notice there, can you see that long line of Armenian spearmen there? Can you see them there, dead in the long grass, where they were hit from behind by Spanish troops as well as being engaged at the front? I thought those Armenian spearmen held well there actually. As we move further up into the battlefield here, you can see more dead red cloaked Spartans there, a big group of them there. And that, as we move up into this part of the battlefield here, you see a lot of my Julii dead troops there as well. So really well done to the enemy team there. As I say, who would have thought that the bulk of the enemy troops left on the battlefield are Scythia and Spain? Who would have thought that? You already can see Canary rallied a spear unit here, and he's got his general there. Well, his general's just been killed now, but and there you are. I think that's the end of the battle there. So well done to the enemy team. As I say, most people that play RTW, there you can see Barclayman still got one unit left, but most people that play RTW would class Scythia and Spain as lesser 31k factions. But look how well they did on this battlefield. I mean, who would have thought that the vast majority of troops left on the battlefield at the end of the day were Spain and Scythia? So really well done to Lakedaimon and Vicox there. I thought they played extremely well all the way through that battle. And so, as I say, really well done to the enemy team. And that's all the troops they got left. Okay, so, as I say, first thing I'd like to say is really well played to everybody in the game there. I thought everybody played well. And you can see it was an average defeat. Now, I would have put money on that being close. I don't know about you guys. It must have just edged into the average defeat there, I'm guessing. So, that was quite interesting. Highest kills in the game, just about, goes to my army. 1,590 kills there. So, I'm quite pleased with those kills. Not too bad. You know, not fantastic, but not too bad there. So, yeah, okay. So, well done to Mantu. Got some good kills with his Pontus army there. Bearing in mind his pikes got smashed and crashed. I think that's good kills for him. I think a lot of my cavalry was in those kills there, and what his chariots did to them. So, well done to Mantu. I thought he handled Pontus extremely well there. And say use those chariots really well, coming in from two directions. Well done to him. Well done to Lakedaimon with Scythia. Great kills, nearly 1,200 kills with Scythia there. Who would have thought that? So well done to Scythia. Well done to Barclayman there. Got some good kills with Carthage there, his faction of choice. But look at Vicox's Spain. He only got 10 less kills than me with my Roman army. And he did that with Spain, which most people would look on as a lesser 31k faction. So really well done to Vicox there with Spain. I thought he did extremely well with that faction. So really well played, guys. Well done to Crypto there. Got some good kills with his Spartan army there. Did really well there, supporting all over the battlefield. Well done to Canary. Got some good kills with Armenia as well. I thought he did well. Bearing in mind he was caught on that left flank of ours under all that pressure. I thought he got some good kills there. Aurelius, as I say, if we get less than 1,000 kills, we are a bit disappointed. So he'll be disappointed with that. But he was caught by those Pontus pikemen, wasn't he, on that one particular flank there. So really well played, guys. I thought everybody played well. A diverse battle as well at Pontus, Scythia, Carthage and Spain in their army, and we got Rome, Greek cities, Armenia and Greek cities. If you look at the two teams, who do you think has got faction advantage there? I'll be honest with you, I think that with our team with two Greek cities in it, I thought we might have had the faction advantage there. I don't know what you guys think. So, you know, if you guys agree with that, then really well done to the other team there. in beating. As I say, we play RTW every Friday and Saturday night. If you'd like to join us, older players that want to come back for some good battles, or new players that never played before, you'd be more than welcome to join us, and you can see the great battles that we have. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.